Hi, welcome to Nuggets with Naveen. We have Professor Ravi Kumar on this show today. Currently, he is serving as warden at the Sri Sathya Sai Higher Education Institution, Hostel in Bangalore. With a doctorate in the subject of chemistry, coupled with great administrative skills, he is committed to serve the youth by sharing knowledge and shaping their character, thus equipping them to have a great career. Compassion is his companion. You will agree with me when you hear a story of his holy site. In fact, this story has been an inspiration to me for many years, and today I have the privilege of bringing this extraordinary story to the listeners of this show directly from Dr. Ravi Kumar. I'm sure you will be as inspired as I am. Sairam, Dr. Ravi Kumar.
Same here. I finished my degree in Vrindavan in 1979. And then, so from 74, I'm here. Okay. So Bhagwan asked me to move over to do my MSc. In fact, he chose the subject. He said that, which subject have you got minimum marks, he asked me. I said, Swami, chemistry. Chemistry was not at all in my radar, at that time. He said, no, you must do chemistry. And I asked, Swami, migita dani kuda apply cheyocha. Because I was sure I won't get in chemistry. Apply just baita pampistan, he said. He was very categorical. Should do only chemistry. And I didn't get seat in Bangalore University for my MSc. So Swami said, Anantapurlo PG Center undi, akkada velli cheyi. Okay, of course, later on he told me that, our director cheppinanu, Srideviకి ఒక చిన్న పిల్లవాడిని పంపిస్తానని చెప్పినాను పోయిస్తుండే. He had పోయిస్తుంది, he didn't tell that. He just told me నీకు దొరుకుతుంది. And that year they had kept entrance exam for the first time. Okay. It's a different thing. I got, by Swami's grace, I got a rank in that. And okay, it's a big story. How Swami showed me that he knew what I wrote, answers and all. He mentioned the questions. Okay, that's a very big thing. I'll tell you some other time. Now, when I was in Anantapur, one day when I had come to Puttaparthi, I used to come weekends, weekends I'll stay in Parthi. On Monday morning, 6 o'clock bus I'll catch and go to the college with my suitcase, leave it outside, attend the class. Like that it used to be. And the alumni of Vrindavan that time had started an association called the Kingdom of Sathya Sai. And they wanted to put up a drama in front of Swami called Kingdom of Heaven. And so they went to Swami with that cast and all that to show. Swami showed one particular role and said, Deentlo Ravini pettandi, he said. Then they said, Swami, Ravi ikkada ledu, Swami. Anantapurlone unnadu kada, weekends lo vastadu, appudu practice cheste chalu, vaadne pettandi, he said. Do you know what that role was? This was a drama about the life of Jesus Christ. And this role was of a blind beggar who got eyesight by Jesus' blessings. Okay, Swami said this. So, at the time it just meant getting a role in a drama to be put up in front. I was very excited, and Swami came darshan time and said, hey, ninu drama la select chesna cheppara? He asked. Cheppar Swami. Chala santosham. Velli practice cheyandi, he said. Purnachanda, he asked us to go. There was one gentleman by name Christopher St. John, who was a Hollywood, I think, actor, director, something like that at that time. Swami called him and said, go with these boys and direct them. So we were practicing in that green room, in Purnachanda Auditorium. And when Jesus gives me eyesight, he just rubs my eyes. Actually, Jesus is coming along the road in the scene, and I am a blind beggar sitting in a corner. Somebody comes and says, hey, the Son of God is coming. Why don't you ask him to give you eyesight? Then I say, will he give me eyesight? Yeah, he'll give you. You ask him. So I go to Jesus and say, please give me eyesight. Then he says, do you have the faith that I can give you? And I say, yes, I have the faith. And he just rubs my eyes and I get eyesight. Okay, so this was the role. Of course, Jesus says, don't tell anybody. Well, the first thing he does is goes around telling everybody. Okay, so this was the role. And when Jesus was giving me eyesight like that. Swami entered from the side and said, Sai Baba vachadu will kallu vachesai. Okay? And we all laughed, Swami came and he got his eyesight. So that day it got over, and the next day again we went for practice. Swami told us, Pondi poi practice cheskondi. And that day the director said, see, I think a few scenes need more of this thing. We won't go in the order of scene 1, scene 2 like that. We will change the order. And as we were practicing, we heard some claps. And we knew that that was the time when Swami would have come out for darshan. There was no music in all those days. But we didn't dare to go out and see because Swami had told us to go and practice. So we were practicing. Again, the same point when Jesus gives me eyesight, Swami came. And the same comment. Sai Baba came and this fellow got eyesight. And Swami went and sat in the sofa which was kept for him. And then after the scene, I went and sat next to Swami, at Swami's feet. Swami asked, did you hear those claps some time back? He asked. Yes, Swami, we all heard. Do you know why people clap? No, Swami. There was a girl in the darshan line, an 18-year-old girl, who was born blind, and I gave her eyesight. Just like Jesus gives you, I gave her eyesight. Nikudestan, Swami said. Again this thing, And we all laughed saying that, in the drama only I am blind like that. Okay? So this just got over like that. The drama got over. 5 years later, I was working in the chemistry lab. And it was lunchtime. Everyone had gone. And the last boy also was leaving. He said, sir, are you coming? I said, no, I'll just finish this experiment and then come. You go ahead. So I was mixing concentrated sulfuric acid and another chemical called acetic anhydride. I was preparing a reagent for a TLC spray reagent. I was preparing. I mixed this whole thing. The whole thing exploded into my eyes. I was looking into that. It exploded into my eye. And I screamed Sai Ram, And there was so much panic in my voice or whatever. This boy who had gone till that grill gate came running. He said, what happened? What happened? And I said, see, I got sulfuric acid in my eye. Take me to the tap. So we went to the tap and there was no water. Because in the adjoining building, that library building was under construction and they were doing some plumbing work. They had shut off the water. So we were searching from tap to tap, tap to tap. In the chemistry lab, there'll be so many taps. Finally, we found one tap which was in a different line which had some water. So we washed and washed and washed. The moment you stop, it's burning, So then we went to the general hospital. That time, general hospital was a very small one, not like what it is now. And we could not even go like we are going now. Means we had to come to that university road. And the nurse who was there said, my God, what a time to come. The only eye doctor we have has gone to Sri Lanka she has a visa problem. And then she said, you better take him to Bangalore. Because there was no other hospital nearby. So this boy had led me, because I couldn't see. He had held me by the hand, led me, and I could hear all this. And he said, sir, shall we go to Bangalore? Because there was a bus around that time. I said, nothing doing. Swami is here. I'll go to Swami. So evening darshan. Swami used to come out around 3:30 like that those days, 3:34. So I was led there and made to sit and Swami was coming for darshan. This boy was giving me a live commentary, this is what's happening. Swami has gone ladies' side, he's come to the Dashavataram gate, he's come near the Sikh people there. And Swami is coming now near us. And Swami's robe brushes. I'm not able to see Swami now. Feeling so bad. Then somebody tells Swami he had an accident and all that. Avuna, Swami says, gets 3 packets of vibhuti, keeps it in my hand and said, Ravi, ఇది తీసుకో 3 డోస్ తీసుకో 3 రోజులు తీసుకో 3 డోస్ ఒక రోజు ఇప్పుడే స్టార్ట్ చేయి అంతా సరి అయిపోతుంది. Okay, he held my hand like that. So I started that medicine that day. That day I took 3 doses. Next 2 days. On the third day, vibhuti only. The third day, I've taken everything packet wiped out clearly, and I'm still blind. So in the night I was very depressed. I said, what is this that has happened? Swami has done so much for me. I wanted to serve him and do in some way, to show Swami what his love means to me. I wanted to show in the form of service. And now I have become blind. I can't do anything on my own, leave alone serve somebody else. I was so put off and depressed that I cried myself to sleep. The next morning there was a knock on the door, and I said, please come in. And that boy came in. I said, you brought my coffee. That boy just asked me, sir, what dress am I wearing? I said, you're wearing a cream t-shirt and a grey track pant. Sir, you're able to see. Then it hit me, I was able to see him completely. For a few minutes, words wouldn't come out, It was too big this thing for me. And then I went for morning darshan. Those days, students used to go only for evening darshan. Sairam, sir, morning darshan. And Swami came to me and said, how are your eyes, sir? He asked me. And actually I couldn't speak, but I did namaskar and tears. Then Swami said, Bangalore velli specs teesko. Then he said, wear it all the time. Okay, wear it all the time in the lab. Be careful next time, he said. So I knew, my God, there's going to be a next time now. Okay. And so I was very careful, I was very, very careful. I said, Swami has said this, I should be careful. And it was all the time in my mind. But Swami has said I should be careful. Just about 3 months before I finished my experimental work in research, my specs fell down and broke. And I was at that stage where if you don't complete the experiment, the entire schedule gets pushed and I would get my degree only the next year. Because it had to go outside and the thesis had to be written and there are so many steps there. So then I told myself, I must continue this experiment because in those days there was no opticians, this thing in Patti. You have to send it to Bangalore and get it back and it would take 2 to 3 days minimum. Okay. So I said, I'll be very careful. Okay, it's ringing in my ear. Swami said, hey, be careful next time. Be very careful, but I have to finish this. So as I was doing it, I just connected a vacuum pump which had come the previous day, one Yamato pump from Japan. We had not even tested it, and it just connected it to a sintered crucible on which there was chromic acid. 70 degrees, black, emitting smoke, like that. And for a few minutes, maybe 4 minutes or 5 minutes, I think, nothing happened. So I was surprised. I said, is it because this pump is not sufficiently sucking or whatever? So I went close to it and at that moment the whole thing imploded and the acid fell into my eyes again. As the acid was running down, the clothes were getting burnt. Can you imagine? Like that it was. Luckily, there were people around me. They took me to the tap, washed. 45 minutes we washed, but the moment you stop, it's like... So we went to the hospital and there was this doctor. She saw and she called that boy who had come with me aside and told him, see, it is something she told him. Okay. He came back and I asked him, what did the doctor say? He said, the doctor said everything is fine. I said, how can it be? Everything is fine. It doesn't burn like this. Then I said, see, Swami will ask me, don't you think I should tell Swami the correct thing which the doctor said? Then he said, the doctor said that you have lost your eyes. Nothing can be done, but take him to Bangalore so that he doesn't feel psychologically that nothing was done. Take him to Bangalore. So shall we go to Bangalore? I said, no, we'll go for darshan. So afternoon I'm sitting there with a bandage and all. Swami is just turning light in the corner of the eye. He sees. Okay, that's what was described to me later on. Swami comes. He said, careless. In Chippinan kada, careless boy, he says. And then he holds my hand and creates vibhuti and puts it. ఇది తీసుకో అంతా సరి అయిపోతుంది. Once Swami said అంతా సరి అయిపోతుంది, I was absolutely relieved because I knew it's just that word from him was enough. Then he said, go and get your dressing changed tomorrow. So I ate that vibhuti. The next day I went. The doctor opened it, able to see everything. But see how the earlier this thing, how Swami had indicated that this would happen and he would step in. Now we can connect the dots and see how even talking about that gives hope for so many people. No, fantastic.
That faith, as you said, Swami saying that word of you, it is cure.
Yes.
Simple.
That moment I knew that it's done.
Same way, now he chose you and said just to share about what he did to you, automatically came as a message to me that taken care, he will take care. Today he's got me to a stage where I've surrendered and said this is his eyes.
That's
so it's not mine. Why am I even worried too much about it and so on. So
see, you can understand, because at that moment when you needed that hope from him,
that's right.
Okay, he made me speak this. Okay, and the beauty, Swami was one day saying, if there's one weakness which human beings have, it is that even if God comes and says, I am God, they don't believe it. But if another human being is worshipping, they also worship, So he has multiple ways in which the message gets conveyed, powerfully. I'll tell you something very interesting. You know that Swami could not see with one eye. He could not hear with one ear.
Oh.
When he was a young boy, what had happened was, he had gone for a swim. And after the thing, they put the towel and dry it, One of his cousins came and slapped him. Okay, and the eardrum broke. Okay, with one eye he can't see with this. And one day there was a minister by name Y.B. Chavan, long back. I think he was a defense minister or something. Swami was talking in his house when they brought the pan and all that, and they had kept those betel nuts. And while talking, Swami used to put a lot of betel nuts in this thing, pan those days. Swami bit, there was a stone. And so his teeth broke, splintered, splintered. And then they want a beautiful sequel to this incident. For a long time, Dr. Venkatraman used to tell me, Kumar, you must write a personal account of it. Okay. Because in between it happened that somebody published in my name wrong details.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Had written an article. And, I had no way of refuting it, kind of, Means he had made a lot of bloomers in the facts.
Okay.
So when this man said this, it struck me that first person account is important. But I told him, sir, I've always been speaking this when Swami has asked me to. It's something very special for me. I wait for Swami to tell me and tell. So when I get a hint from Swami, I'll write. One Deepavali day, Swami told me, hey, article rasese. Okay. So immediately, I don't know how, in the dream itself, I'm very clear it is about this only, about the eyes. Then Swami is asking me, Daniki, em title istavu? So I'm telling Swami, I did not even think of writing it, so I had not given any thought to it. Swami said, Daniki Chaksho Suryo Ajayata అని ఇచ్చేసి. Chaksho Suryo Ajayata. దాని మీనింగ్ తెలుసా? He asked. స్వామి, అది పురుష సూక్తంలో వస్తుంది. మీనింగ్ ఏమి? స్వామి said. But Swami Chandama Manaso Jatava Chaksho Surya Jayata. There's a relation between the mind and the moon, and the eyes and the sun. That's what it says. Okay. And Swami said, Adhikadu. Chakshu ante emi, he asked. Okay. So, Chakshu ante eyes, Swami. Surya ante, he said. Aditya, Swami. Inkoka peru Banu. Inkoka peru, like that, many names, he said. Finally, I ran out. Swami said, Ravi. Ajayata ante malli puttatam.
Oh.
So how Ravi got back his eyesight?
Wow.
What a thing it is, no?
he made it very personal there.
Yes.
And
And-
only then people can connect.
And such a Vedic connection.
Wow.
Such a Vedic connection.
Amazing.
Because I had an opportunity to tell this also in Swami's presence.
Oh, wonderful.
This is what I had written for the 80th birthday in our university. This
Okay.
Chakshus Jayata.
Wow, what a story. I just don't feel like stopping. Dear listeners, this is a true story of a simple yet very accomplished person. This is a true story of faith and commitment. I am inspired. I'm sure even you are. Have a wonderful life and bye for now.